All right. If you are interested in getting to knowing a little bit more about that past life and what was going on, the energy of some of the things that maybe your home, family roots, kindred spirits of the past, and things and patterns and things that you've been through, then you come to the right place. Now, if you happen to have a North Node in Taurus, or South Node in Taurus, North Node in Scorpio, or South Node in Scorpio, then this video is for you. Or if this energy happened to be transiting, which it transited all of our charts, specifically last year in Western astrology, then you can also listen to this video because it might give you a little insight of like what was going on depending on where Taurus and Scorpio was interacting in those houses. Okay. So for those of y'all that don't know, my name is Crew, aka Araneae Storm, evolutionary root work astrologer. So if you have come to transform through astrology, then this video is for you. All right. I hope everybody's been good. I hope everybody's been well. We just kind of got a little shaky because that Hurricane Burrow bumper clock done came through. So I mean, we're good. We had light rain over where we was at, but sending my love to people who might have went through the storms and lost their homes and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it. Before we do start, real quick, we do have cheat sheets available for evolutionary astrology. It's like a cheat sheet slash writing prompt available. You can definitely look at that below. Also, too, have a course coming up if you want to learn more about your moon sign, specifically your moon placement, but also moon nodes, which is like North Node, South Node, past life, current pattern, presence, things, and like your purpose and destiny in life. Being in alignment, I should say, with your life path, who you are, and things like that, and alchemizing that energy. You can also see that information below as well. It starts next week on July 14th. And new updates coming about that as well, too. So let's get into it. Taurus and Scorpio. So when we talk about the lunar nodes, we're talking about where the sun and the moon, the celestial points, meet in the middle in astrology. Okay. And I hope y'all can hear me. I know my fan is blowing, but I hope my mic is doing a good job. The mosquitoes have been tearing my ass up. So just bear with me if it's blowing too hard. But so the moon nodes, right? So North Node is the energy that we see of what we're kind of gearing towards in this lifetime. It could feel a little bit uncomfortable versus the South Node energy is like past life energy, okay? The things that we've previously been through, our patterns, our roots, our family, things that we might have experienced in a previous incarnation that we came into this particular lifetime and are learning the lessons about, but also ascending into this new version of our lives and this new version of ourselves. Okay, so that's what the North Node leads us to. So when we talk about the energy of Taurus and we talk about the energy of Scorpio specifically, Taurus has to do with the first Earth zodiac sign. It is fixed Earth energy. All right, this is the energy that we see that goes into our. One second, let me push this in. Basically, goes into the energy of our, I would say, roots and foundations. It has to do with our land. It's Venus ruled too, Venusian ruled. So this has to do with like our possessions. This has to do with our value and how we see our personal value. This also could be physical values. So the things that we have, the things in which we acquire as well too. You could see here with this Venus or this Taurus Venusian energy as well. Also too with Taurus energy, it definitely, especially when we're talking about the fixed signs, specifically Leo and Taurus, it has to do with royalty as well too. So for example, I'm sorry y'all, let me adjust this fan because I feel like it is blowing smoke right now. 1 second. All right. If it has to do with Taurian energy, okay, North Node can definitely be energy that we see of maybe focusing on stability, right? Focusing on your values and your foundations and your possessions. And possessions can be material things, so like this chair, right? And possessions can be a multitude of things as far as when we're talking about possessions and things like that. But specifically, or finances and things like that, material values, or even plants and animals, and having like I forget what African tribe that is. I can't remember the name of the African tribe, but using it as an example of like this tribe in Africa that has like this herd of goats, and basically the goats can produce milk, it can produce clothes, it can produce stuff for your hair, stuff for your body, and basically these this cattle or these goats and cows specifically. Is it goats or cows? I think it's goats or cows. It's one of the two. But basically, they provide the village with everything that they need. Okay. And they rarely sell these cows or these goats, one of the two. They rarely sell the cows or the goats because they supply basically everything they need. So that can also be as a sense of um, wealth. It doesn't necessarily have to be like physical things, but it does have a lot to do with the physicality of things as well here too. So just keep that in mind. All right. So Taurus, North Node in Taurus could be seeking those things, whereas the South Node in Scorpio would be maybe releasing things that maybe like I would say mental patterns as well, because Scorpio talks a lot about the psyche. Taurus also is a throat chakra as well too. So how you are communicating and expressing yourself. Scorpio on the South Node is probably like releasing maybe this energy of wanting to hide. This maybe releasing the need to maybe keep everything bottled in. Granted, Taurus can also do the same as well, but it is very expressive through the throat in talking, speaking, writing. All those things could definitely come up here with the North Node in Taurus and then the South Node in Scorpio. Now, Scorpio definitely also has to do with like spiritual abilities. It has to do with death, transformation, leading by faith and not by sight. Even though Scorpio is fixed energy here, right? You could definitely see Scorpio more so like if I know that I put my mind to it, I know that I can have it. I know that I can create anything with my mind. I know that I can have whatever it is that I need through fixating it through my mind. Versus Taurus is like I need to see it in order for it to be real. Scorpio was like, it might not be real to me right now, but I can make it real. Okay. And so trusting that, having that faith and having that trust. So we can also see Scorpio as when it comes to like intimacy, uh, like inner intimacy with the self. I know we talk about sex and things like that, and sacral chakra is Mars ruled, which has to do with like passion, drive, energy, vitality, and things like that. But Scorpio also has to do with platonic energy, Pluto as well. So this could be like, if it's not internal death and rebirth, this can also have to do with like physical deaths and things as well. And so when we switcheroo those things around and have Scorpio in the North Node and Taurus in the South Node energy, Scorpio in the North Node definitely has to do with being in this energy of walking in faith and not by sight. Okay. It's having that internal trust that things are going to work out, regardless if you are able to see them or not. It also helps you, I should say, and supports you in understanding that there are cycles of death and life, that you do go through these internal transitions and also external transitions that can literally affect the overall context of your life, and that have to learn how to pivot. You have to learn how to if you get knocked off of one path or you get knocked off of one way, figuring out how to pivot and go another way. Taurus can get very fixated, which we'll talk about the South Node in this energy, the opposite energy can get fixated on like having a plan, this is how this is going to go. Granted, Scorpio can too, but it's different in the ways in which Scorpio is a type of like, for example, if we talk about like manifestation, it'll like focus on something and it'll focus on that thing and be like, I know I'm gonna have it. I know I'm gonna get it. I know I'm gonna get it, blah, blah, blah. And then it'll take his mind off of it and boom, here it is. Taurus is more so like practical. It's like working in that thing every single day, putting down a brick every single day until you get that home, putting down a brick every single day until that house is completely built. But then is it really actually fully built? Is it really actually fully finished? Because we're always adding and changing and things like that. But it's long term. And as shaky as the world is, even though I think we have, I guess, external stability or wanting external stability, the world is everly changing all the time. So this is more so focusing on your internal stability. And so with it being the South Node in I should say Taurus, I think this is releasing having that stable foundation, right? Having this um, stable foundation, which that's not to say that Taurus in the South Node was always stable, depending on what you have in your that particular house and what's happening or what's been transitioning through that particular house, and what planets are with that house as well too. Sometimes you'll see with the Taurus is South Node of like either extreme regality, so it might be easy to acquire possessions and physical things, um, even like regality, or depending on what's there or what's aspecting this energy, which is like having a conversation with this South Node energy. You could also see somebody or a family upbringing, or maybe even a past where maybe you struggled in your physical wellness, physical stability and things like that. Maybe we're just making enough to get by, or having enough resources just to get by, or having to scrape up resources to get by. Like, because Taurus has to do with the resources. It's resourceful. The things that you can have physically around you, but also the things that you can acquire, like I said, from building things, whether it's the goat, the plants, the animals, the land, whatever the case may be, so that would be South Node when we're talking about releasing this energy or releasing the nodes, or trying to find balance between the South Node energy and the North Node energy. Having faith that you might not be able to see the outcome of things. Scorpio has his mind fixated that regardless of how it's going to get there, it knows it's just going to get there. And that's just kind of like encompass of the energy that you can see here with the North Node in Scorpio, or South Node, North Node in Scorpio and South Node in Taurus. Now, we did have the North Node in Taurus last year in Western astrology, and the South Node in Scorpio. So whatever themes were coming up for you in that particular transit last year, and I think it was like 2.5, was it 2.5 years or a year and a half? Felt like 2.5 years, but it might have been a year and a half. So think back to what was happening. Look in your personal chart and see what was happening, what was popping up for you. And please let me know in the comments exactly what was happening here and what was going on for you with this particular energy. I'm also doing evolutionary astrology energies. I'm also doing evolutionary astrology readings as well too. Again, you could definitely find that cheat sheet / workbook on the links below. It's downloadable. And I also will have in the future, if you don't see it already on this video, which it'll probably be in the future, I also will have like mini short videos about Taurus and Scorpio actually through the houses. So definitely check to see with that link below when those videos will also be available, and other digital offerings and things like that. So you already know what it is. It's Araneae Storm checking in, checking out without a doubt. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. I love reading y'all's comments. Also, liking helps this video get out to the masses and the people who need to see it as well, because otherwise I'm not really worried about all that. But for the folks who need to see it, it is going to be recommended. I don't know why I'm tongue twisted today. Recommended to the folks that do. So I already know what it is. Araneae Storm checking in, checking out without a doubt. Deuces.